Average salaryman in modern-day Japan, living a soulless life where he had the same routine every single day while always yearning for more. Every morning he woke up and took a bus to the office, worked till late in the evening before returning back to his dingy apartment where he would spend the rest of the time watching TikTok brain rot. He always wanted more out of his life, and his wishes finally come true. When one night he wakes up to find himself in a white void with nothing to see, his eyes soon focus, and he finds out that he is sitting in front of a white-haired K-pop idol who claims that he is God himself. Shiro isn't a 13-year-old girl though, so he sits there unimpressed, asking where exactly he is. The K-pop god reveals that Shiro had died and is currently in a limbo where his soul is about to disappear forever. But God is willing to give him an option. God reveals that he can send him down to a different fantasy world called Madius if he wants, where he can relive his life as anyone he wants. This immediately grabs Shiro's attention, who felt like this was a dream come true. The god immediately takes out a clipboard and starts writing down the special skills that he would integrate within Shiro. And soon the time runs out and Shiro is sent to the fantasy world of Madius. When Shiro wakes up again, he finds himself in the middle of a forest and is overjoyed at the prospect of getting a second chance at life. He immediately gets up and starts exploring the world and soon finds his way out of the forest where he spots a small village at a distance. He immediately wants to check out what cool things he could find there, but decides that if he shows up without any money, people will think he is shady and won't even give him anything to eat. Suddenly, he remembers God telling him that he will have boosted scouting skills, which he could use to find expensive items and ingredients to sell it for a good sum. He stands up confidently with a stick in his hands and shouts to activate the magic, only to realize that nothing happened. This scares him, as he wonders whether the god just scammed him. But soon he figures out that he was simply not using the correct word for it. When he uses the word search, the scouting magic activates, immediately showing him the locations of every single collectible item in the forest. He realizes that this ability is really handy, and then tries to use another one of his abilities, which lets him gain more information about that particular item. He tries a combination of words, when finally the word scan helps him activate his abilities, and he manages to get more information about the type of things he could gather. Just like you at a buffet, Shiro grabs every single thing he could and analyzes their levels before putting it all in his side bag, which is also magical and lets him store as much stuff as possible without any shady subscription fee. With all the materials gathered safely in his tote bag, he decides to move towards the village. By the time sun starts setting over the horizon, Shiro finally reaches the main gate of the village, which was being guarded by a lone guard. Shiro greets the man, which wakes him up from his sleep, and it turns out that the people of this village are all short kings, making Shiro the tallest guy here, which means lots of bitches for him. The guard asks whether Shiro is a swordsman or a knight, but is surprised to know that Shiro is primarily a gatherer, which is not very common in this world. The guard opens the door for Shiro and tells him to find the main shop at the village center, which usually deals with stuff like this. Shiro enters the peaceful village and starts moving through the wide path where lots of villagers were staring at him from afar, wondering who this new stranger was. Shiro, however, makes a beeline for the main shop and enters the dark store. The man behind the counter greets him warmly and asks what exactly he wants to sell. Shiro takes out an oval smooth rock, which the shopkeeper grabs and immediately recognizes to be anteater poop. He claims that he has never seen such a perfect specimen and tells Shiro that he would love to buy it from him for 5 silver coins. He realizes that 5 silver coins is basically 350 bucks, which is more money than most of you will ever see. He immediately agrees to the deal, which makes the shopkeeper really happy as he keeps rubbing up and down his face. The shopkeeper asks whether Shiro has anything else to sell, and Shiro immediately puts out all the stuff he hoarded from the forest. The shopkeeper is absolutely stunned at the sight of so many items of such great quality, and asks Shiro why would he come to a small village like this to sell such incredible items which can get him a lot of money in any big city. Shiro immediately lies that he is just a traveler who has been collecting stuff and traveling to different parts of the country. The shopkeeper recognizes his talent though, and gives him a job to collect some valuable gems from the icy mountains nearby, where he might also come across some monsters. Shiro wasn't so sure whether he wanted to go for a mission like this right now, but the shopkeeper promises to pay 20 grands for the gems, which leaves him with no options but to accept. With that, he bids the shopkeeper farewell and roams around the village, finally finding an inn for himself. He gets a comfortable room inside and lays on the hard bed, tired from the day's work. wishing that he could take a bath and get the dirt and grime off of him. Just then, there is a knock at the door and a young girl enters the room with a tub filled with water for him to wash himself. Shiro, however, has only ever taken showers and asks what the hell is he supposed to do with this shit. The girl tells him that he is stinky and needs to wash himself with a damp towel to get cleaned, but Shiro asks whether they have a shower instead. The girl gets confused at this and tells Shiro that they have no such things since only the nobles get to take a proper bath while the rest are supposed to clean themselves with water and a towel. Shiro can't believe that something as basic as a bath is gatekept from the commoners, but the girl tells him that there are some mages who are able to perform magic and